Hi guys, so I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but I was showing this flower like about to bloom and it has bloomed. Look at that. I think it's an amaryllis. I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Look at how beautiful that is. And he's got some friends. He's got some friends right under here that will also bloom. I'm so excited! Woo! Welcome, spring. Please come a little faster because I am done with the cold. Okay guys, so the real purpose of this video, today we are going to be talking about more of the emotional side with having an ostomy. I feel like there's just so much we can talk about. We could go on for days about how to deal and how to accept that you have one. I'm gonna try and summarize kind of how I came to be okay with it, because I wasn't always okay with having an ostomy. I just said this is my life now, and yeah. So I went to Children's Hospital of Philadelphia's IBD Education Day. They do it every year in February, and they usually have kind of education about the disease, and then they get a panel of doctors to speak and answer questions, and then they also have IBD patients. My friend Marissa, who goes to Camp Oasis and all of that, that's where we met. These trucks, seriously? She had asked me to join the panel along with a number of other present and past patients of CHOP, basically just to answer questions. And one of the moms asked a really interesting question. I'm going to paraphrase it because I don't remember exactly how she asked it, but basically she was saying, you know, how do we with children, how do we kind of help them through? Do we nurture them through their disease and like all their pain? Or do we kind of just tell them that this is your life now and you just have to push through it and kind of suck it up? She was basically asking what's better, because there's nothing that a parent can really do to help a child physically feel better when they go through this kind of pain, whether it be IBD or ostomies. She was wondering how she could assist her daughter, I believe it was. And it was more of a question geared towards the older people. I think that we went up to like age 29, and I don't think anybody was really sure how to answer that. Because what is better? Do we nurture somebody who, say, has just gotten an ostomy surgery and try to sympathize with them and encourage them? Or do we just tell them, suck it up, this is your life now? And I've been thinking about this, and I think that it's kind of a mix of the two, because you want to encourage somebody with an ostomy, even if you're talking to yourself. Like when I first got mine, I was feeling very sorry for myself, and I think that that's okay. I think that having IBD or an ostomy or whatever, it puts you in a very unfair feeling situation. Like, that's unfair. You didn't ask to have this done. You didn't do anything to deserve this. Why is it happening? And that's the ultimate question that we'll never know the answer to. But we just don't know why it's happening, and we're forced to go through something that we never wanted to. So obviously, early on, I was feeling very sorry for myself. I thought about all the things I could no longer do, how different my life was going to be, both emotionally having to do this basically medical procedure on myself whenever I had to change the bag. I was doing, you know, nursing level skills at the age of 16. I wasn't ready for that mentally, and also the physical side of it. I'm a 16-year-old girl, and now I have this bag on my side. What about going to the beach? What about wearing tight clothing? You know, what if I want to go to homecoming or prom or whatever? What am I going to do? Like, people are going to see it. And that was kind of my struggle. So I think it was okay for me to feel sorry for myself, and I think that my family and friends understood that. I was very upset. I didn't know where life was going to take me, basically. And as I sat there in the hospital, and I was just thinking about what am I gonna do? Like, this is terrible. This sucks. What am I gonna do? I had family visit and they would ask me the same thing. What are you gonna do? Can you go to school anymore? Will you have to be homeschooled? Will you not be able to play sports? Will you not be able to go places anymore because you have this bag? And obviously, I was uneducated, and that's the whole point of this channel, is to show people that you can live a completely full life with an ostomy. Nothing should hold you back from anything. But I was just thinking about what they were saying, and I was like, all right, I don't even know what life is going to be like when I leave the hospital. I don't know how I'm gonna handle this at home. I don't know what's gonna happen. Let me finish out my time in the hospital with this bag. You know, I have my resources, I have nursing, I have doctors, I have supplies, I have my dad, I have everybody nearby, near proximity. I'm going to finish out my time in the hospital and not be concerned with what's going to happen at home, because there was nothing I could do. I didn't know what life was going to be like when I got home, so I put it in the back of my mind. I just focused on kind of learning how to get the bag to stick at the hospital. I remember my dad and I looking up forums online and learning what we could online about ostomies, because we didn't know anything. Before I got the surgery, my dad thought that it was like a valve that I would turn and it would just come out of my stomach, but I would turn it and it would empty, and then I would close it, and it was like a plastic thing. That's literally what we thought an ostomy was. We had no idea. So we did a lot of research in about the 4 weeks that I still had in the hospital after receiving my ostomy. Now, when I got home, that was the time to really discover what it was going to be like. And I remember leaving the hospital, and the shirt that I had brought was a very long sleeve shirt, but the torso part of it was long. And I hadn't really thought about tucking the bag into my pants or anything like that. And I remember getting dressed, ready to leave, I'm being discharged, and I was so excited. After I got changed into real people clothes, I came out of the bathroom and I was like, Dad, look, my shirt's long enough, it covers it. Nobody could even tell. I was so excited. So I think that was kind of the start of me being like, hey, maybe my outfits won't be a big deal. Maybe this is not a big deal after all. So from that point, I went home, and like in the hospital, I adjusted to life at home. I had a lot of time off. I was in my junior year of high school, so I had time to just be at home and heal without having to worry about school. And then we slowly introduced me back to school. I started with like an hour, and then I went for 2 hours, and it just increased. And my dad would pick me up. And I remember there was a couple days I wasn't feeling that great, and I think he picked me up a little bit earlier just because, you know, I was so thin, I didn't have any energy, and my body was very busy still healing all the wounds inside of me. So I just adjusted very slowly, and it was a learning process. I had to learn everything over again. I had to learn what to do with my bag and how to dress and what I could handle physically. And it was just interesting. As time went on, I realized how much more I could do than I thought I could. You know, I looked online and found a protective guard for my ostomy. So I had my surgery in October, and by the next spring, which probably around end of March, April, we started the soccer season up again, and I was ready to play. I had my protective belt, so I just eased my way in. My soccer coach knew exactly what was going on, that I just had surgery not too long ago, so he eased me in and took me out when I needed to not play. I just played recreational. I was not in like any kind of travel, you know, I suck at soccer, let's be real. But I eased in with that. I eased in with school. Even my teachers would come to my house and teach me the things that I missed, which was fantastic. And I think what really made me okay with having an ostomy was when I went on YouTube for the first time and I made a video saying, "Hi, my name is Maggie and I have Crohn's and an ostomy now." And I was kind of looking for other people my age because, you know, commercials, and even if you go on some of the ostomy supply websites, I just did this the other night, you see more, I don't want to say elderly, but more experienced people with ostomies. I didn't see a single teenager on any of these websites. And I was like, oh my god, I'm the only kid with an ostomy. So I made that video basically searching for other people with ostomies, and I got this like awesome response from people all over the world who were younger than me, who were a little bit older than me, I mean all ages really, contacting me saying, "Hey, I've been through something similar as you and I have a bag too." And we would chat, and that's when I became okay with it. I was like, you know what, this is a normal experience. Okay, maybe not normal, but it's a lot more common than I thought it was. And that's why when I became okay with having an ostomy, I worked really hard to make the rest of the world okay with ostomies. Not just on YouTube and all of that, but with my friends and family. I talk about my ostomy like no other. I'm obnoxious about it, but I want to make sure that it's a normal experience. I want people to say, okay, you go to the bathroom through your colon or whatever, and you go to the bathroom in a bag, and those are totally fine either way. I talk about it all the time. I make it a normal experience. I think if I were to hide it and not tell people I have this going on, if somebody were to find out, they'd be like, they might think it's weird or something because I was hiding it, like if I was acting like it was something to hide. So that's really how I advanced in kind of being okay with having an ostomy. And YouTube helped me immensely as well. I don't think I ever would have gone onto the beach in a bikini if I didn't have the motivation through making a video with duct tape on my bag. I was so excited when, I can't remember, somebody else gave me that idea. Maybe I say it in the video. It was years ago. It was back in high school. Maybe I say in the video who gave me the idea. But I was so excited about this duct tape that when I put it on my bag, I was like, well, I can't just do this for a video. I have to go out on the beach and do it. Like, I have to do this. And it was so great. And when I went on the beach, I had somebody come up to me and say, "Thank you for being brave enough to go out with your ostomy. I used to have one and I hid it from people." So I've just had a lot of like positive reactions about my ostomy. Of course there are negative people and I just don't even care about them because they're dumb. But I've had so much positive reinforcement in showing my ostomy, telling people about it, that it has become no big deal. And it also helps that as time has gone on, I've learned more skills in changing the bag, in maintaining it, and maintaining my skin, that it really has become no big deal. I'm able to change it in a few seconds, and the time spent caring for it is much less than the time I would spend in the bathroom when I was completely connected. I think that was another motivation that I had to be okay with my ostomy, the relief that I had. I know not everybody winds up doing well after ostomy surgery, you know, health-wise, pain-wise, but for some people it can be very relieving to get rid of the diseased part. It gets rid of a lot of pain, and you find that you're able to eat a wider variety of foods. You might be able to eat more and just be more comfortable without that pain. So I think that was a motivation as well, just to continue being okay with having my bag. Now, to tie this all together in a big circle, I know that I talked about the mom asking whether nurturing would be better or kind of telling you to push yourself and suck it up. And I think that it is a mix of the two. So I definitely have friends and family say okay to me feeling really sorry and really mad and upset about the situation I was forced to be in. But I also had myself as well as other people pushing me each step of the way. Now, I didn't make huge improvements, you know, on a day-to-day basis. It took a long time for me to learn how to care for the ostomy, to dress myself. Just there were so many different factors that over time I had to learn to be okay with and push myself through, like going on the beach with the ostomy bag, like totally out in a bikini. That took a few months for me to do after surgery. I didn't jump out right out, you know, day after surgery, let's go to the beach. Like, I didn't do that. I would not have been brave enough. So I had to push myself each step of the way, force myself to do something that I was a little uncomfortable with, and each day I made improvements. So I know that this was a long video, and I hope that it made sense. I'm not sure it did, but that's basically my experience of being okay with my ostomy bag, how I got to this point. I'm really hoping, I know that there's so many of you out there who are not too happy right now with where you are in life because of the ostomy bag. So I'm hoping that this video gives you a little insight about improving every day. It is not a quick process, but you can get there. Just remember, it's okay to feel sad, it's okay to feel mad. You can be as angry as you want to be, but don't just settle where you are. You want to improve yourself and push through it. I'm not saying to get over it and be okay with everything now. I'm saying take each day as a new lesson, a new experience to learn and grow with your ostomy bag. This is your new life, and at some point you do have to say, this is how it is, and you have to make that choice. Do I want to sit around and be upset about it, or do I want to live a full life? And I decided to live a full life. Alright guys, I hope you enjoy this video and take something away from it. If you have any requests for anything you'd like to see, just comment down below and I would be more than glad to work on a video for you. Alright guys, I will talk to you later. Bye.